You cannot compare you bed rotting to someone else's like, oh my God, I'm on the top of Mount Everest. That's like comparing like a Doberman to a freaking lizard. There's nothing to compare, right? Hello, and welcome back to your weekly emotional regulation, emotional intelligence therapy session. I appreciate you guys for waiting so long for me to make another video. I have seen your DMs asking when I was gonna make my next one because you all enjoyed this one that I made a while back. I have just been taking some time to myself and exploring other creative endeavors, and I appreciate you being patient. Today I'm here to add another one to the playlist and kind of ruminate about today's topic with you all. As we go forward, I just want to let you know that I don't want you to take everything I say to heart. It's ultimately just like a take what resonates discussion, as always. It'll always be like that. So whatever doesn't resonate with you, just leave it, totally disregard it. I don't know you and your situation, so don't take everything I say like word for word and apply it to whatever your situation is. I'm just here as a guide to hopefully help you navigate your own situation that you might be a little stuck in. So you clicked on this video because of the title. You don't hate other people, you just hate yourself. And I thought this topic was kind of fitting considering some recent events that have occurred in my life, and it kind of just brought me back to this state that I used to spend a lot of time in when I was like 18, 19. As these events unfolded and as I reflected, I was really impressed by my emotional growth that I have done within like 2 years. So I just wanted to share that all with you. Essentially, the reason I say you don't hate other people, you just hate yourself, is because when we hate other people, like for no reason at all, it's probably because they possess a quality that you don't like about yourself, okay? Let me elaborate on that so you understand the context in which I'm speaking of. So let's say, for example, you find yourself kind of like building up resentment or hate for another girl, and like it's totally eating you up inside, and there's really no reason why. Like, she didn't do anything to you. Consider this. What really annoys you about her? Let's dive into that. So if it's her looks, if it's her personality, maybe her personality is really loud and you internally don't like that you yourself can be loud at times, because in your mind you think women shouldn't be loud or something along those lines. Like, you don't like the fact that you are a loud woman who likes to speak her mind. You suppress that quality about you. And when you see someone that is like coming out full force, showing that quality that they have and is proud of it, you become resentful because you're like, why is this person still happy with themselves, and why are they accepted by society despite being a loud person? When for me, I can't even accept myself, or people don't accept me when I'm that way. And again, like, not necessarily, that's not really true. That's just your perception, okay? Another example would be like, you hate this girl because she has a nice body, okay? And you're jealous of her and you just hate her and you don't think that she deserves her body and the good things that happen to her because she has a nice physique. And why? Why can't you just let the girl live? Well, maybe because you have such low self-esteem that you're like looking at this girl and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, like I just hate her because she has something that I don't. But in reality, you don't hate her because she has a nice body. You hate her because she has self-discipline, she has work ethic, she's not lazy, and she has actually put in the work. She has done the shadow work to get to where she is. And you hate that because you haven't, but you know you need to, but you're just being lazy. So those are just two examples, all right? And I think that can be applied to like any situation in that framework. This leads me into talking about being jealous, all right? Most of the time we hate other girls because we're jealous of them. And we don't want to admit it, so we kind of like to make up something along the lines of like, I don't really like her because like her style just doesn't really align with me, which that's not really a valid reason to not like someone, but whatever. Like, I don't like her because she has better clothes than me. But in reality, you're like, why does she get to dress like that and still have friends? You know, I'm jealous that she's still accepted by society and can be herself. When I do that, it's not accepted in that same way. Or you might think. Jealousy can be a really ugly, but also really healthy emotion to feel. And most times, I think like in typical cases, you can be jealous of someone and it just depends on how you respond to it. So if you're jealous of someone because they have a nice car, then you can use that as motivation to be like, okay, how am I going to achieve something like that for myself? Like, I'm gonna work really hard and be productive and work on myself and focus on my own grass so I can have grass as green as that. Or you can just take that in a negative way and be like jealous for like a bad reason that's like really unhealthy. Like, oh my God, I'm so jealous of her. Like, why does she get to have a nice car like that when I don't have a nice car like that? Like, she doesn't even deserve it and I deserve it. And she like probably uses her dad's money. Like, I work for my money, you know, like making all these really ugly excuses. So in that sense, like, I think that type of jealousy where you're not using it to fuel your productivity is the lowest frequency that you can vibrate at. Okay, it's not pretty, guys. Like, it's not good for our soul and it's not good for our mental health. Whether you like it or not, when you are jealous of someone, it shows. It comes through like a sunbeam coming through a window. Clearly, okay? Especially if it's to another girl and you have to like interact with her on a personal level. You might think that you're concealing it really well, but in reality, like, you're not, okay? Your poker face is non-existent, all right? That's what I've noticed in my like 20 years of being alive and being a girl. Like, I've had some friends who will literally like, don't come for me when I say this, but I'm a Scorpio, so I feel like I can sense everybody's like outward energy towards me. And usually when my intuition tells me something about how someone might truly feel about me, like even subconsciously, it's almost always right, okay? And then once I put that together, I can see their actions reflect that. You can't hide it, all right? Whether it becomes in like weird faces to them or like snarky comments, or maybe you're like gossiping about them to your other friends, like, it's just not cute. Insecurity can stem from comparison or a lack of trust in self. So let's just start with the first one. Obviously, comparison is the thief of joy, all right? When I tell you this, like, it really is a thief of joy. Like, don't focus. You should be so busy watering your own grass that you don't see how green other people's grass may be, okay? Because at the end of the day, like, when you're working on your own grass and working on your own like shit, like you're hustling every day, like you don't even lift your head up to see anybody else's life or whatever they're doing. Like one day you'll lift your head up and you'll be like, wow, like how did I make it here? How? And then you look at other people and you're like, whoa, like I have come a long way, you know, because I have worked my butt off and I've been focusing on myself so much that I don't even know how I got here. My grass is just this green. Especially in today's society, it is so easy to go on Instagram. First picture you see a girl like, you know, enjoying herself, and you look at that and you're like, why does she have that? And I'm just here scrolling in my bed doing nothing, right? But like everybody says, social media is just a highlight like platform, okay? It's everybody's best moments. You cannot compare you bed rotting to someone else's like, oh my God, I'm on the top of Mount Everest. That's like comparing like a Doberman to a freaking lizard, right? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing to compare, right? Moving on to the second point I said is insecurity can stem from a lack of trust in yourself. And basically this just means like you aren't focusing on yourself enough. And it's okay, like we've all been there. Like sometimes life just feels like it's like the days blur together and you're kind of just flowing with everything, not really doing anything to feed your soul or like help your career grow or nourish your mental health, like take care of yourself in general, okay? Like sometimes we take those moments of not giving ourselves enough attention and then like feeling guilty about it and then looking at someone who kind of seems like they do put in the time to themselves and be like, oh, like why, like, and then that's when the insecurity starts to come because it's like, I am like really insecure that I can't even have enough discipline to be my best version of myself, and then this other person can, and that's when it starts to like fester. Like it starts with insecurity, like, oh, I don't have enough self-discipline like this person, and then it turns into jealousy, like, oh, but I could if I wanted to, but this person, like, they don't deserve it. Like, why do they get to have that and I don't? But it's like, it starts with yourself. So that leads me into talking about how you can build that trust within yourself. And this is really, really important because like finding love within yourself and just feeling at peace with yourself is really tricky. It takes a lot of work, but you know, like you have a lifetime to do it, okay? Nobody, when I tell you this, I swear to God, nobody on this planet has all their shit figured out, okay? No one. Everyone has work to do. Even if they look like they have everything together, they have nothing to work on, they're living their best life. No, that's not true. Whether they know it or not, they still have shit to work on. And it's heavy shit, okay? Here are some things that you can do to build trust within yourself and learn to love yourself. Number 1, set goals for yourself and actually go through with them, okay? Don't be saying, oh my God, I'm not gonna eat any more sugar for the rest of the month. Don't do that, okay? Set a realistic goal and actually follow through. Example, oh, maybe I'm not gonna eat any artificial sugar that is unnecessary and doesn't come from whole food 3 times a week. Okay, that's totally doable. Monday you wake up and maybe instead of reaching like a Pop-Tart for breakfast, you can reach for a yogurt with like strawberries, some antioxidants, maybe some blackberries, granola, like just a healthier option, okay? Be persistent with that. And then Tuesday, you can be a little bit more lax, but it starts with making those small decisions, okay? When you tell yourself that you're gonna do something for so long, and then you don't do it, you're just like, oh, like I'm a failure. Like, you're confirming the bad things that you already think about yourself when you don't follow through with the things you're gonna do. Second thing you can do to build trust within yourself is find a time or find a way to be completely in tune with yourself. Enough to just like step out of your conscious brain for a second and let things flow. So for me, this looks like journaling. For other people, I know it looks like dancing, like it can be going on a hike, it can be meditating, just spending time just yourself and your body and really like healing and just like watering your inner world is a really great first step to building that trust within yourself, okay? Third thing you can do to build trust within yourself is actually to just be intentional about pretty much everything that you say and do with yourself and with other people. So this might look like when you're talking to someone, maybe just try to slow down your words a little bit and take more time to be intentional about what you want to say to someone, and then someone says something to you and you process, think about it, and then respond, but like intentionally, okay? Before, I used to say whatever came to my brain, and like after that, after a conversation, I would think about it, and I'd be like, why did I even say that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not who I want to be, okay? But when I think to myself, like, okay, nobody's rushing me. I can talk as slow as I want. I can think about it. I can talk intentionally. Like, every conversation is meaningful now. And it might be like mentally exhausting at first, but eventually you kind of just get used to it. And don't get it confused with like analyzing other people's reactions, but more as just like being more thoughtful about how you interact with the world around you. And yeah, so I think that's actually a good place to like end the video, because I talked about everything I wanted to. But if there's anything you guys would want to add, like, please do, because I think so many people deal with this that it can't be talked about enough, you know? So yeah, like, I hope that this conversation was beneficial to you. Like I said at the beginning, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I appreciate you guys, and thank you for joining me today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.